Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Reviews where today we have ourselves a track by an act named Aztec Flow titled Serpico. If we switch over to here, Serpico featuring Atahan. So Aztec Flow with Serpico featuring Atahan, and we're going to listen through this track from start till finish and we're going to hear what we think. Apologies if I mispronounced any of the names by the way, and without further ado, let's just get into it. Oh, nice and loud with the helicopter sounds and the voices. Which has like cop radios. Oh, nice and loud.
Nobody floats harder. In the river you can meet your father. That's a baptism from Meshach. I'll pray for you with 2 hands on your neck. Aztec doesn't die, rarely slept. That's return from life and wake from death. I don't wanna know about.
Fantastic. I like that. Wow. It's like a synth or like a kind of a twisted kind of music box kind of groove alongside the vocals, you know. Oh no, that's a woodwind. Never mind. That is a woodwind there. It's kind of like 70s kind of twisted LP kind of aesthetic there with the trap drums and the 808s and everything like that.
Mirror on the wall, please put me to all of them dogs. They absentees when we come across to count records, we wild like hogs. Give me a break, you little to middle, we'll fiddle with riddles. I never gave a fuck about a reward. Watch your face to a clock, one night aim, right in your door. You live with the rats, we ain't mean splinter. Crack hands need their heads crack, head checks get the man back. Had a gun and never meant that. Fake rappers, that's on lead stack. Try kill me, I wish you did. We lit in this like cigarettes, no friends in this. How they gonna fuck around and end this bitch?
There's just so much going on in that first verse there. I want to listen to the track to get the whole context, but it's very kind of claustrophobic with how it sounds, how tight everything is in the mix, and that theme there is very aggressive and in your face. And the vocal style with the occasional amounts of vocal fry with the fast words coming through, with the range and rhythms and the variations in intensity there, in regards to the expression. It's really entertaining, but it's a lot to take in.
You told the whole town, put a little pussy down. There's too many pussies round, cause you a rat.
You told the whole town, put a little pussy down. There's too many pussies round.
Cause you're a rat. You told the whole town, put a little pussy down. There's too many pussies round.
I like the use of the guns in there. I think it was a really interesting way of breaking up this hook section. It was unpredictable. You know, I wasn't expecting it, even though you could see the build up with the people going in the cars, the cops, the agents going in and shooting their guns. You know, you could see it coming. It's just I wasn't expecting it to hit right in the middle then.
Got a problem, dog, don't fuck around when our money's involved. That problem solved since your missing case when I solved. Y'all been misinformed, squishy y'all as a bees ever since I evolved. Why you tripping for? Nobody wants your girl for a booty call.
I just came from the bank, put this piece to her face. This is a study you make. You was more fraud or you a mistake.
Y'all keep asking me, I got the cow backing me. Y'all keep nagging me, y'all ain't getting no beats, so quit asking me. Like talk up like you the big dog. Now the feds in your vehicle, bruh. You need a miracle. Got caught out now, you feeling spiritual. Hold up, wait a while, I ain't playing. Goku, I'ma go Super Saiyan. Kanye, I'ma leave swaying.
Goku, I'm gonna Super Saiyan. Goku, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan. Kanye, I'm gonna be left swaying. Wow. Okay. So, okay. They're big words, but that's all right.
Oh, you the man, huh? Talking about me throwing tantrums. You ain't making them anthems, and that ugly face sure ain't handsome. Like fuck the best, I'm amazing, and I know that's not what they saying. They can't help drag my name in, so fuck the world and what they came in. Alright.
You told the whole town, put a little pussy down. There's too many pussies round, cause you a rat.
You told the whole town, put a little pussy down. There's too many pussies round.
I think it's great to have someone doing one line and the other collaborator doing the other. You know, Aztec on one side, Atahan on another. Atahan.
You told the whole town, put a little pussy down. There's too many pussies.
pussies round.
Cause you a rat. You told the whole town, put a little pussy down. There's too many pussies round. Cause you a rat.
Because you're a rat. You know, it's bass here. We've got the LP sort of like town here. You know, the sound of the vinyl. You know, it's great. Has that old school kind of vibe there, the twisted vinyl in there. Serpico. And we've got the wind foley kind of finishing it off. Okay. Great track. Because this is the conclusion of my review of this track, Serpico from Aztec Flow featuring Atahan. What do I think this track is about? After listening through it, I think, you know, the whole entire thing, it sounds like it's about someone they're discussing who is a rat, someone who they can't trust, someone who's just like less than human to them. Maybe these are other rappers, just other people they know who've screwed them over or been like disingenuous or dishonest, who are weaker than them. And they're trying to front and stuff like that, but their stuff just isn't like, it isn't even worth their time. And they're, you know, the gunshots and going into these different houses and shooting, I suppose, is them kind of having that very sort of confrontational kind of vibe towards these people that they dislike. That's what I think the track is about. Hip hop and rap is typically like type of combat music, you know, the words, they aren't kind. And this kind of goes and sort of like this goes hard, you know. I don't know where I put it on the scale, but they're certainly polished vocalists who are familiar with the genre, comfortable with the way that they express themselves. I think that there was a sense of like the hook was catchy, because you're a rat, you know, like that's a great line there. It's simple, easy to understand it. You know, like you don't have to think too much about it. They slow down deliberately in that chorus section so that you get the precision of those words. It's a nice rhythmic change to what they had in the verses. It's not like they were going too fast to understand the words and you know, within the verse parts. It's just there's a lot of context there. It's one of those tracks where like you kind of need more than one listen to really get everything. I'm sure there's some extra nuance I missed, but still I'm nonetheless happy with the track, and I think they did well. You know, like they're confident vocalists, they're competent on the mic, they had two different ways of expressing their own stories, they had varying vocal timbres, which made them easy to sort of hear and understand in the mix, and I think that was a great choice for collaboration. If you have people that sound too similar, you won't be able to tell who's who. They sounded like they expressed, you know, appropriately to what was being told in the story. You know, and what was being done in the music video as well. I think the audio-visual experience was fantastic. Well done on the video. And I think that, you know, for 3 minutes 56, they made a great use of their real estate. Because it is a longer track, you know, a lot of times people sort of go for that 2 to 3 minute mark. So to really justify having a track this long, you kind of need to have more, you know, like you need to have, obviously, your verse per vocalist, per rapper. But you also need to have a sense of like effect and a need to hear that hook again. It needs to be memorable and sort of engaging enough to really want people to continue to flow with it. The reverse final takes on the, you know, they were fine. I enjoyed this way that they sounded. The kind of warped materials on there with the melodies there, as well as the trap drums and the 808s were great. They were a good combination. You know, it didn't always have the bass elements like in the start. We just had the ba 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 ba, that melodic motif there. And things got a bit heavier in the verse sections and pulled away again and the choruses to allow more room for the vocals to be the focal point. I think that was great. There was nice textural shifts there, varying intensities. There was dynamic range to the actual performance itself. And there was not a note out of place with the vocals themselves, and not a note out of place with the instrumental part. You know, they picked a solid motif that displayed that kind of old-timey, like to go with the grayscale of the video, like that old-timey kind of tone and texture to the accompaniment that matched well with the kind of dread and the existentialism of the song itself. You know, they showed why they were superior in a situation, and they made it seem like an old-time kind of mafia movie, except there was the cops pulling with assault rifles. So that was dope. I think that, you know, the sadness in that motif and the desperation and dread is mirrored well with the studio production as well, with those minor chords and the melodies were simple and the bass lines roll with the chord progressions, and the drums were nice to sidechain to the bass. And I don't think we needed any more lead sections, but like the studio production was solid as well. Like the vocals were filtered and EQ'd really well. They came through nice and clearly in the mix. It was nice and wide in the stereo field. You know, like there was an airiness here and an emptiness there that came from that motif, and it was really it surrounded it and kind of it's overwhelming. And you know, the way that the basses were rounded and polished there, tonally, production-wise, from an EQ and compression perspective, was great. The drums there, when they were in, were nice and punchy without being too overpowering. In fact, I'm kind of like impressed by the leveling of it to be able to get that bass that tight to kind of sit and just kind of nudge its way into a niche in the frequency spectrum to not be too overwhelming at that point. It's really well done from a studio production perspective. Yeah, there were no weird resonant frequencies in the frequency spectrum. There was nice and loud without pumping with dynamic range there, and that's effectively my review of Aztec Flow's Serpico featuring Atahan. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and their YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.